Whew. Okay. And I gotta tie my pants one more time. Just give me 1 second.
It's always these
I
pants.
know, seriously. I'm so sorry. Yele Rigu Namaskara. It's good?
Very good.
It's
Getting
good.
better.
Thank you. Thank you. Me and Natasha have been talking, and we want to do a series where we talk about long distance dating. Because, as you know, me and Natasha, we had dated long distance for about 15 months.
Yeah.
And then, 2 days after we met, we got married.
Yeah.
And so we were thinking that it would be kind of fun to do like a series where we discussed how we did it.
Yeah.
So we have 6 points for you guys today. And the first point is very clearly the most important. Keep God in your relationship.
Yes.
It's extremely important to do that, guys. Honestly,
Yeah.
when Natasha and I were doing the long distance, she would read the Bible and then she would actually send me a recording of the Bible that she had read that day. And then that was
Yeah.
kind of like my biblical study for the day as well.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I just think that it was really important that we always made sure that God was in the center of our relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for every relationship, you know? Always keep God in the center because he's the glue that keeps you together.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like because we were at, different time zones as well, it was like when it was, 12 and a half hours difference?
Yeah.
And I was 12 and a half hours ahead. So
Yeah.
when I'd be waking up, he'd be going to bed, finishing a long day of work and stuff. So
Yeah.
we never really got too much of time where we could spend time together in the Word. Ever so often we would end up doing a little Bible study together,
Yeah.
maybe watching a lot of messages whenever we could, some
Yep.
services. When I feel like even when you are together, keeping God in a relationship is so important.
It is.
But you don't necessarily have to always do it with the person always there.
Yeah,
You
true.
can have your own personal time with God, which is very much so the most important thing to God, right? But also try and make sure that you guys spend at least a little time together
Yeah.
as a couple.
The second point that we want to discuss is trust. When you are going through a long distance relationship, it is so important to have trust in one another.
Yeah.
Because, especially in mine and Natasha's situation, it was like we had never met before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you can talk for like, 3-4 hours on the call, and then you're not with each other the other rest of the time.
Yeah.
You have no idea what the other person's doing.
Yeah.
Natasha would tell me, she'd be like, I'm going out. What is she doing? All I have
Right.
to do is take her word for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was so important that we established that trust
Yeah.
in between me and her, because it was like, and the way we did that was we decided that we were going to tell each other everything.
Yeah.
And we had established that actually pretty early on.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And it was like any doubts or anything that was bothering us, we would bring it on the table.
Yeah.
And we would make sure that if somebody was bringing something up to us, we wouldn't get upset or anything
Yeah,
like that.
there's no judgment. Also don't give the other person reasons not to trust,
Exactly.
right? So it's like,
Good point.
if you don't trust your partner, why is that?
Yeah.
What is the main reason you don't trust your partner? Like, what have they done or not done to give you a reason not to trust them?
Yeah.
It all again boils down to, I'm going to trust God because he has brought this person into my life, and I'm going to trust that if this is the right one,
Yeah.
it's going to work out.
Number 3, if I can explain this right, try to keep it as normal as possible. When you are over the phone talking to each other, there's no doubt that it can get very frustrating,
Yes.
especially when you want to go hang out with people or whatever and you're on the phone. And there's so many times, and God bless my friends
Yeah,
and my family.
mine.
I would be on the phone and they would treat it as if she was literally there with
Yeah.
us right there. And
Yeah.
even though they never met her before, she was over the phone.
Yeah.
It was like, we tried to keep it as normal as possible, like she was actually there. I think that was so important.
Yes.
And it really helped to bypass the time that
Yeah.
we were separated.
In those moments, we tried to keep it as normal dating as possible, where we would just
Yeah.
go and hang out with friends and family, and
Yeah.
we'd do our own thing, but we'd have our phones on, on camera, and the other person would just be a part of it.
It's not like the other person was demanding either,
Yeah.
you know? It's like if I was on the phone and Natasha was hanging with her friends, it wasn't like I was like, excuse me, I want to be a part of the conversation or
Right,
whatever. It was
yeah.
like we were understanding that it is hard being over the phone. It was like a mutual respect thing, you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like we respect the other people and then they respect that we're trying to be a part of it as well,
Yes.
kind of thing,
Yeah,
right? And
very good point.
yeah. Number 4, don't be scared to live your own life when you are going through a long distance relationship. at first, when Natasha and I were first talking to each other and stuff, it was like kind of like when you first meet somebody and it's like have to do small talk, but then when you actually become friends, then it's like that small talk goes away.
Yes.
And like, okay, we have to be like this in front of the camera, engaged the whole time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't remember who it was, but one of us suggested one night, we said, I have to work, I have to go off call now. And we were like, why don't you just stay on while you
Yeah.
work? And it was like, we could do a work date.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, as soon as we decided to do that work date
Oh.
method, our relationship went from like here to here.
Yeah.
It was huge. And it was like, we would spend like, well, actually, after a while, we were literally on call 24/7.
Yeah.
Our phone
yeah,
batteries.
Phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, phones and laptops just
Oh,
had enough.
They were done.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got to tell you, like, it was like I would literally just be editing on my computer, and she'd just be there. Even if she was sleeping, it was like she was still there. We
Yeah.
were still together.
One thing for me that I would say about this point is we figured that I'm going to be the one to move to Canada, and that started us down this journey of the visas and getting
Yeah.
things in order, paperwork, and this was
Yeah.
during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of like uncertainty behind the paperwork and
Yeah.
the visa process, because it was very different. I got very consumed in that, and I was unable to make plans for the next 3 months or
Yeah.
4 months
It's
or
true.
a year down the road, because I had no idea
Yeah.
when it is that I'm gonna have to leave, right?
Yeah.
So it was
It's
very
true.
difficult for me to plan my life. I remember getting very frustrated about it as well, and
Yeah.
then we had a talk, and then I was just like, you know what, I think I'm going to live my life
Yeah.
as I am
Yeah.
right now. I'm not gonna think about Canada as of now.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it'll happen, but
Yeah.
as of now, I'm just gonna keep making plans as I would
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be living here. And then I think it's
Yeah.
important for being in a long distance for whoever is planning to make that move.
Establish that as early as you possibly
Yeah.
can, and try to figure out exactly how that's going to be. Because I know for me, especially when she said, I think I should be the one to move, it was like, even though I'm the one here in India right now, I wonder if she actually tricked me there. I don't know. No, it was just a total visa thing. It definitely 100% made me feel a lot better. Like, okay, we have a mutual understanding. Number 5 is if you're really like set on this person, introduce them to your family. We dated only for a little bit of time, then she met my mom. And I know that for my family, especially when they heard about this girl from India on the other side of the world, it really helped them to actually meet her.
Yeah.
Because it's like I told them about her, and I'm sure it kind of varies on the situation, but when it came to our case, it really helped that we introduced each other to each other's family.
Yes, I agree.
And stuff. Eventually, they started building a relationship even just over the phone, and they haven't even met yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her with my family and stuff. And when we told them that we were going to be getting married and we were going to be eloping, my family's literal reaction was, well, it's about time.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That was
Why-
their reaction.
Exactly. Like, why have you not thought about this sooner?
Yeah. Sixth and final point that we want to talk about is enjoy the process. I
true.
honestly cannot nail this home enough. Enjoy the process. Because for us, it was 15 months. We weren't sure if it was going to be 3 months,
Yeah.
6 months, or 2 years. And there were times that we got very frustrated, very agitated, and it made it feel
So true, long.
Looking back on it now, that 15 months, we had the chance to talk.
Yeah.
We had the chance to communicate and discuss everything, And I feel like a lot of times
Made us best friends.
it made us best friends, totally.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times when you go into a normal relationship, it's like sometimes you can get used to the cuddling and used to other things, you know what I
touch,
mean? The
yeah.
touch. And you kind of forget to actually communicate,
Yeah.
But me and her, we had no choice. We
Yeah.
had to talk.
I mean, when you are going through it, you don't understand why, but God in His infinite wisdom knows why, and why the time that it needs to take as well, right?
Yeah.
So, honestly, now being together, whatever we have had and experienced and learned
Yeah.
through that 15 months that we were long distance really has molded and strengthened our relationship together.
Yeah.
Because being together is a whole new world, and
Yeah.
it's like now there's so many things come into play as well, where
Yeah.
we're working and everything else in life just gets in the way,
Yeah.
right? And there's many times where we're not able to really, even though we're around each other, we're not
Yeah.
really there able to spend time together.
Any relationship that is really going to thrive, the foundation needs to be God and friendship.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not best friends, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I have my opinions about that, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
In his video, he said he's looking for his best friend,
Yeah.
and so was I. And you know what?
did.
Honestly, yeah, that's exactly what we got. And
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that is our first video in our series of long distance dating.
Yeah.
We thought this would be great. We had experienced it, and I'm sure there's going to be so many people, especially with COVID. You know, it's in the past, but you know, there's still quite a few lockdowns and stuff like that
Yeah.
happening around the world. There's going to be a lot of people that are long distance dating
Yeah.
and stuff. And so we figured, why not share our wisdom on how we got through it,
Yeah.
you know, and everything. So yeah, we hope that you guys got some insight from this video.
Till
Okay.
the next one.
Till the next one. We'll check you later. Bye. Do you want to do this one or do you want me to?
No, you go ahead. I think I spoke enough.
Yeah.
Or no, no,
I was
no.
just like trying to keep my eyes open in the sun. Like, oh. Let me just give a quick second.